second time out today for tour leaders Fiji up against Portugal. You could say cellar dwellers, but a lot of spirit in the Portuguese team. They like to play well. They've given us some great moments over the years, and there's their lineup to play mighty Fiji. Keith Quinn with you. With me is Carl Tanana. This is going to be a tough for Portugal to hold the Fijians here. Carl.
Oh, most definitely, Keith. And it'll be a hurting Fijian team after their first up loss to Samoa, so I'm sure they'll push the pace, start Portugal up possession, and, well, I'm sure they'll try and get their offloads going. Really with fluid. They started this tournament slowly, but I'm thinking that they'll be on song in the second game.
So it's not often that we've had a sevens tournament stop where both of the finalists from the previous week have lost their opening games in the new tournament. That's what's in Fiji here as we look at the referee Taku Atsuki of Japan, and that's what also happened to New Zealand. New Zealand have fought back and had a victory in their second round. Now let's see if Fiji can do the same.
I think it just highlights how competitive the series is and how much of a mental game it is this second week, Keith, and I'm sure that this Fijian team have got their heads straight.
So behind Osia Kolini-Sau is the sparky little Mosi Mulavoro, their number 8. He's the man that scored a triple of tries in the final in Hong Kong last year. As the game kicks off, Fiji in the white jerseys, of course, and the red and green of Portugal, and it's been tough for Portugal, and they've got obviously not as many players to choose from, but they've got a policy as Kolini-Sau goes, and that's the policy for Fiji. Hit hard from the tap kicks, and there's the first try for Osia Kolini-Sau.
I think also the policy is to play the game fast and high pace. You see there Kolini-Sau straight on their ball. There's no way he was passing it, and you can't turn your back against a player as smart as Kolini-Sau. Look at him go to work there at the breakdown. Out-muscled 2 Portuguese players. They turn their back. You've got to at least face up. Does the right foot step, and it goes through with a power. Good start with Fiji. Good start with Osia Kolini-Sau.
Yes, the policy of Portugal is to bring in a mix of senior players and real teenagers, and that's what they've done this year. They've been caught out a few times on the scoreboard with some tough results to bite on because they have so many inexperienced players. There's Mulavoro, there's Kolini-Sau who scored the opening try. It's converted at 7-0. Portugal have Ederito Esteves. That's him, number 1. He's been around on the tour. That's him just to the left there, dashing in to just try to stop the run by Mulavoro, who's got it in to Vera Malua and stretches out a big long limb, and over he goes. A beautiful try there for Jasa Vera Malua, and this is an example of what can happen when you've got long limbs.
Long limbs, you can catch the ball, you can step, you can run real fast. Keith, the left-hand fend there by Vera Malua, but look at the way he's able to switch the ball on both hands just so seamlessly.
Put a bit of stick on their hands, don't they?
I just think he's got big mitts, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true enough. True enough. So Kolini-Sau with the conversion attempt, and that's another good one. So that's 2 tries for Fiji very early on. Vera Malua and Kolini-Sau, and there is big Jasa Vera Malua.
But he's good in the open field, but where he really excels, Keith, is kickoff time, so look to be involved here.
There he goes, in with a swinging arm. Now, here they come again. The same man, the same 2. It's the formula. Kolini-Sau to Vera Malua. It was like all happening for volleyball.
I like the way that he hit this ball. It's just 100 miles an hour. He timed it beautifully. That's the secret. There's the tap back initially from Dumolalai. He goes across to Kolini-Sau, but he just runs into the hole. He doesn't run at the man. That's the secret. In between 2 defenders, and he gets 2 for number 2.
So there he is. He's engaged to be married, but has decided to put it off until after the Rio Olympic Games. Now, that's the way to go in life, isn't it?
Well, that's focus right there, Keith.
What, on his marriage or on the Olympics movement? But there he is, 2 tries, and we've had 4 minutes. 21-0 for Portugal, trying to get something into this game. They've got Vasco Pop driving forward there, and clearing it out is João Balu, and there's Estevez. And over the top, Antonio Monteiro. Estevez. Some of these guys have been traveling the world for years and years on the various teams on the tour, and number 1, Eduardo Estevez, is one of those. He's got a fantastic sequence of tries, 61 tournaments. Now, putting that another way, that means he gets his passport out and puts it down as he arrives in the country and gets his stamp or something similar, 61 times for a young man. And there's Apasa Domalala, just 17 stamps on the passport for him. Nemani Nangus is back in the game, and number 4 is Masavisi Dakawanga. Mulivoro running onto this ball and getting out nicely is Vaitakani, number 11. Now, he's brand new to the tremendous depth that Fiji has, so this is his first tournament. So, and some of these guys come from circumstances where they've never been out of the country before. We think in particular of Masavesi Dakawanga, who arrived in Vancouver, I think it was, and had never flown out of Fiji. And now, of course, he's gone Vancouver over to Hong Kong, now down in Singapore, 3 of the great cities of the world. Not only is it a fantastic opportunity to chance show your wares as a rugby sevens player, but a great way for young people to see the world.
Approach. 5. Set.
Portugal with less than a minute to go in the first half. 21-0. Having a go themselves, and this is Pop. Vasco Pop. He's from the Belenenses club, and this is good from Portugal, brave Portugal, Antonio Monteiro, but that's the corner flag there. Disappointed that they haven't made a score out of that.
Yeah, shouldn't have went down the short side, should have went open. These little short corridors and close spaces do the Portuguese, but they ran out of numbers. But to be fair, it was great defence coming up here by Vetokani. Takes the ball in the man, uses the sideline as a defender. Great defence.
So Vetokani is from Nandronga province, strong in rugby on that side of Fiji. And there's the throw from Mulivoro. And it's a pick-up by Nemani Nangusa, also into the team again. Look at this sideways passing. The next guys are often taken by surprise, as we've all noticed. Not everybody appreciates the side-handed pass, and they often tumble to the ground. And half-time is reached here between Fiji and Portugal. Fiji have 3.
Confiança, já sacar esta bola,
Beautiful scene here in Singapore. Great to be here. The Lion City, the Garden City, 5.5 million population, 75% Chinese and well represented in the crowd today. 13% Malay and 9% Indians, Europeans and others. Beautiful place to come to, a mix of clean green and, as they say, ever onward Singapore. And there's always Fijians in great numbers all over the world supporting their team. And they're in the lead here against Portugal by 21-0 as the second half begins.
Portugal actually showed a bit of fight at the back end of that first half. Keeper, they can't make mistakes like that from kickoff. That's rookie stuff. And, well, against a team such as Fiji, who are bouncing back, sure, they're not firing on all cylinders yet. They're down a couple of very big strike weapons in Ruatha and Kunatani at the moment, so opportunities for some young players, but geez, everything has to go right if there's going to be any chance, and they have to score first in the second half, Portugal.
Big jump there by Domalala. He really is a giant of a man at 1.95 meters. That's nearly 6'5". And here they come, Mulivoro. Out now to Domalala himself, supported by number 8, Mulivoro. Domalala is still going as they work it uphill towards halfway line. And here's the new guy, Alaferetti Vaidukani. A loose pass to Kitioni Talinga. And there's the new man, Vaidukani.
Geez, he looked nice hitting that ball too. Alaferetti Vaidukani, very smooth running style. In his second tournament.
And the guy up in the top for Fiji, that's Kitioni Talinga, and he was voted winner of the newcomer of the tournament in Hong Kong last week, a new award for the Beth Coulter Award in memory of Beth Coulter, who did so much work for this tour and on this tour. Fijian, and Hong Kong and Irish. Resident, and just love to see these teams play so well. And so some of us were lucky enough to be the judges, and Kitioni Talinga was the first winner of the Beth Coulter Award for newcomer at the Hong Kong Sevens. Here comes Fiji, and there's a nice tackle by Nasila Sila, who's come onto the field from the bench, cleared away by his opposite number, who was Vasco Pop. And running up is João Balu. And this time it's Pedro Silverio. 22 there, just to the left. They're a hard-working team, Portugal, you can see. And they've got space outside for Estevez, who used to be amongst the very quickest on the tour, and perhaps not so much these days, but still hard-working and elusive at all times. And they've put a good line in here again. Portugal, 4.5 minutes to go, second half. They've conceded the penalty though.
Yeah, a bit slow on the support play there. And now there's 2 men in the deck. It's going to be hard to stop Fiji from here, Keith.
Talinga at halfway. Rolling away from Tuwai. So there is Apanoni Nasila Sila. He's from Hideaway Nandrong, a great side stepper, and plays the sweeper role, as we call it, in the back of the attacking lines. Has become a familiar face, but a lot of the teams at the top end of the table, Carl, are resting players now, aren't they?
Yeah, very much much as about man management, game management, and injecting them at the right time.
2 tournaments to go after this one before the series is decided, the HSBC series. And there's a very good example of the stepping, and Nangusa away to Domalailai. Number 1 is Domalailai. Across the field we go with Nangusa. 2 wide, and it's going to be a try out wide for Kitione Talinga, the little man who got the lovely award last week, and he's in for a try, his 16th of his career.
Yeah, but it come from Jerry 2 wide. Watch the little man go to work, does a little Sarevi goose step, gives that last pass, draws in the last 2 defenders and leaves the space open for Talinga. Just offload string of passes.
So we've got some statistics here. That try was Fiji's 199th for this tour, this season. So whether they can crack the big 200 might be exposed in the next 2 minutes. We'll see.
I bet you by dinner they do.
They will.
I've never seen your wallet in 2 weeks, so I'd like to see it.
Come on, Carl. I tell you what, it's been out a few times, but eating in the city is such a delight. There are various dishes you can have up at Chinatown and Little India and all the other great spots. Tremendous place to come to. But forget about the 199 at the moment. How about the number 1 for Portugal in this game? But well, it might come here. Baloo. Conversion is away from the man who scored the try, and here's how it stands. Fiji miles ahead, really, playing about the same number of games as the leading team, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand and the United States. But look what a gap it is back to some. They were about 60 ahead of New Zealand, for instance, who are just behind them on the table. That's a fantastic effort by the Fijians. But let's see how Portugal go here. Ridden down is Tiago Fernandes. Loose ball. With it now is João Baloo.
A lot is said is so much is said about their attack, isn't it, Keith? But it's on defence this season in particular that they've really taken it to another level. Not noted in previous years are the Fijians, but it's an issue that obviously Ben Ryan has spoken about, addressed, and that's why they're the full package at the moment. They've been so dominant the last couple of seasons.
Yes, and that's why they won the last tournament in Hong Kong, got big points there and went to the top of the league with this tournament, and 2 to go in Paris and in England. That one is a penalty for Portugal, and then the HSBC series, the World Series, will be handed out. Fiji haven't won it too many times, and they haven't won it here yet. What a hit that was there by Dakuwanga, number 4. Baloo, who he had to think about going down the tram tracks, didn't he? Now it's out in midfield. Play well into referee's time, and a good run here coming in by Tiago Fernandes. He was met by Alaferetti Vatokani, new to the team this season after having a little bit of a time in one other previous tournament in Cape Town. But will Fiji have the final say before the curtain is rung down on this game? They've always got lots of ideas, lots of planning. 2 wide number 9, midfield, looking for the offload. Look at that fast hands, bounced pass back from whence it came, trying to clear space. Nasila. And now here is big Nangusa, and when I say big, I say B-I-G, big. And here they go, still Talinga, beautiful footwork and speed, and grace is the name of the game as Talinga scores the try. Kitione Talinga, remember that name.
The starters down the near side of the field with Nagusa being a big bully, but as soon as this guy gets it, as you see, kid, the two left foot steps, but it's the nice balance from Talinga that sets him apart.
So the conversion is over. A lot of points, a good game, good performance by Fiji. They've won over Portugal by